I am fascinated, Ewan, how an actor of your standing and so many films you've done goes from being in front of the camera and being directed by somebody to the other way around.
Yeah.
And particularly when you're then in the film as well. So I have visions
It's
of
doing
people
two jobs
kind
at
of
once.
running, do you go and do a scene and then run back, look at it,
Well,
direct yourself and come back again?
There's a little bit of that. The truth is, I think if you're going to do both, direct and act in the same piece, you just have to really, really do your prep beforehand. So the pre-production becomes essential. And because everybody knows that's how you're going to be doing it, you make sort of allowances for that in the way you prepare. And you don't want to have major decisions to be made on set if you can avoid it. Because really, when you're on set, you just want to be concentrating on the scenes and how the scenes are going to play with the actors. So we just made sure that we were really prepared, and I really shared my vision with everybody.
Two of the actors that had to listen to you were Dakota Fanning and Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly plays your wife in American Pastoral.
It's interesting you're saying I was so lucky with that
Yeah,
cast.
with the cast,
Did you have anything to do with the casting as well?
Both Dakota and Jennifer were cast when I was cast, 3 years before we made the movie. And for those 3 years, we were waiting for the movie to start. It was starting and stopping, and we kept losing directors, a bit like the drummer in Spinal Tap. They kept falling away and until I became the director, and then we finally got the film made. So I inherited them, if you like, and my first job as director was to go and meet them both. I had never met Jennifer. I'd met Dakota because I was going to be playing her daddy, so we met for coffee when I was in New York once. And so I went to meet Jennifer, and I was very nervous because, of course, I've got no track record as a director. She's got every right to just say, no, I'm not going to do it with him. Why should she? But I went and sat with her, and I realised the sort of heft of responsibility that was on my shoulders suddenly.
So you offered her more money?
I didn't have more money to offer her, sadly. I just had to try and enthuse her and let her see that I was passionate about it and that I was taking it seriously. It wasn't a sort of vanity project for me. And it was something that I'd always wanted to do. So luckily, they both said yes, and here we are.
Ewan, what is the story? What is the concept? Why should people go along and see American Pastoral?
I mean, it's a very, very thick and intricate novel that Phillip Roth wrote. It's a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel. It's a beautiful book. And he's exploring America, the history of America in this period of time from post-war America through to the 70s and beyond. But he does it through the lens of a family, and that's what really hooked me in. I'm a father of 4 girls, and it's very much a story about a father losing his daughter to political radicalism in the 60s.
Now, this is American Pastoral is out, but Trainspotting 2 is coming
Seminal
next year.
movie.
Yes.
Next year.
So in Trainspotting 2, are you all, what, 65 years of age? What was that like as a reunion? Seriously, when you all got together again, the original cast...
Have you got everybody back?
Everybody's back, yes. Yes. Bobby Carlyle, Ewan Bremner, Johnny Lee Miller, Kelly MacDonald, and I. And then there's some new people. And back with Danny Boyle, who was gave me my identity as an actor, if you like.
20 years.
Yeah.
That's the first. God, that
Does that make you
old.
feel older?
There were 20 years ago moments every day on set. Where you suddenly felt 20 years older, you know. But it was wonderful to go back. I was a bit nervous about it because what if I couldn't find him again? What if I didn't feel like Renton anymore? You know, my 20 years have been very different from Renton's, I guess. But as soon as I got back on set, it was there, and it was so nice to play him again. I really liked it.
I don't want to spoil it for people. We know it's coming, but where is he at?
Well, that's what I can't really say.
Okay.
Are they
All I would say...
respectabilised? Are they settled down? No, okay.
You'll have to just wait and see. I mean, all I can say is it's 20 years later.
It strikes me, Ewan, that you are at a very interesting place in your life, professionally certainly, where you're able to have the confidence to be a director, you're taken seriously as a director, you're able to have the confidence to revisit a project 20 years ago where a lot of people may have said, no, that was then, I'm now LA.
People say something, you know, sequels, sequels don't always work.
Sequels don't often work if they're brought out straight away. And I think the game's up, really, in terms of Hollywood movies bringing out a sequel immediately after, which is just the same movie, and then sometimes a third one. We've sort of smartened up to it, and we won't accept it, I think. But this is different because it's 20 years later, and I don't think any one of us would have agreed to do the film if we hadn't believed in the script. And when I read the script, it's a very different movie. It's not... We didn't try and remake Trainspotting 20 years ago. We were a bit sad to watch us all do that. So this is really a new animal, and it stands alone, I think. But for those of us who know and love the original film, it'll be quite special, I think.
Well, that's to come.
Yeah.
American...
Sorry, I just want to ask you one thing.
Yes.
Best thing about being a director, worst thing about being a director?
Well, a flippant answer about the best thing about being a director is you don't have to change your clothes when you get to work. After 25 years, the first thing I do when I get to work is I have to take my clothes off and put someone else's on. And the worst thing about it is just the first moment of every morning when you open your eyes and you go, oh, I'm directing a film. You know, the responsibility of it weighs quite heavily on your shoulders.
Well, you look like you've done a very good job.
Thank you.
On
Enjoy
Pastoral. It's great to see
American
you.
Pastoral at a cinema near you from tonight.
If you enjoyed that, there's more of the same right here. And make sure you subscribe so that you never miss the best moments from this morning.